Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unmasking Mum, the podcast, with me, your host, Anna Bonacera. Hello, it is so good to be here. If you are new, welcome. If you are a reoccurring listener, thank you so much for being here. This is the podcast where I want to share with you all of the questions I had and answer them on a personal level because, AI, they can answer it all, right? They've got the answers to everything, but they don't have the stories and they don't have the personal experience that we do on this unmasking journey. So welcome to Unmasking Mum. Today, we are talking about sucky things about being an ADHD mum, especially if you're late diagnosed, because I think they suck more because you weren't aware of the things in the first place. Obviously, whether you're late diagnosed or not, whether you've always known, you will experience these. But I feel like if you have known and been on this journey for a long time, and I guess you've done something about it, then you will have strategies already in place. But being a late diagnosed mum myself, I just looked at what everyone else was doing, tried to cope like they were coping, they were managing, they were fine, they were dealing with it all, and couldn't understand why I wasn't, and just thought it was me being a bad mum, organized, unorganized, lazy, all the names. And I think a lot of these things we're going to talk about actually trigger so many different emotions. A big one of that being shame, a big one being guilt. And that doesn't help because one of these sucky things is all about emotions. Okay, so 5 things that suck about being an ADHD mum. Let's go. Number 1, time. The concept of time. Anyone else here, literally being ADHD has made me realize that I really don't have a concept of time. I don't know how long minutes feel. I literally think every car journey takes 15 minutes when most do not and take more. So I don't allow myself enough time. And now I have to now I know I try and put buffer time in and I try and reverse engineer my day to try and help that. But still, I'm still learning on that. I'm still definitely in a 15-minute journey mindset. And when I'm right, we've got 5 minutes, so we've got to leave kids. This literally happened to me the other day. All of a sudden, we should have been in the car already because I wanted to be at school early because we had to get the twins to a medication appointment and I wanted to make sure we get the blue badge space. And I then was rushing and panicking out the door. I wonder what it feels like. Do neurotypical people or not ADHD people actually know how long a minute feels, know how long 5 minutes might feel? Because I honestly have no concept of time at all. I feel like it either goes really slowly or goes by really fast. I'm waiting all day for an appointment, then probably turn up late because I think it takes 15 minutes and it doesn't. Or literally I'm doing so many things to fit in that time that then I'm late because I forgot about it. So basically I'm always late, chronically late. And it's definitely something that I've felt a lot of shame about, trying to get 5 kids out of the door. Is really hard work. And most of the time I have it in stages because first Nathaniel goes on the bus to secondary school. Then the twins are next and they get picked up. Then I drop Spencer. Then I drop Mila. But they come in the car with me together at the same time. But yesterday, which is why this is late if you're listening, I'm sorry. I literally was so exhausted yesterday I couldn't record. We had the twins medication appointment. So I had to get 4 kids out of the door and my helpful child isn't there because he's at school. So I had the twins and all their bags and stuff for school because they were going back to school afterwards, and also stuff to keep them entertained while we were at the medication appointment. And then I had Spencer and Mila as well and all the things that they come with, and then stuff that I needed as well to take for me for the appointment. And apparently the average person can remember 7 things when they're leaving the house. That doesn't even cover the whole household. If we're all together as family, we are 7. So that's 1 thing for each person. And everyone's got about 10 different things that they have to remember. And then I'm going off on a tangent now, aren't I? Because we're talking about forgetting things. But anyway, that concept of time is so, so hard. I remember once I had put off for months and months and months doing upcycling this little chest of drawers. I was going to paint it white, and I kept waiting for the right time and not having all the kids in the house or just having a few kids, so it was a bit easier to manage. And then I literally had about 15 minutes. I was early. I thought if I go to this party, I'm going to be early. And I honestly hate being early to things. I would much rather walk in, everyone's there already. I hate being the first one there. And I was like, I could just paint the chest of drawers. So I'd put it off for months. I was like, it'll only take me 5 minutes. I was then 15 minutes late because I was painting these drawers that I'd put off 4 months. And it definitely was not a 5-minute job. Like, who was I kidding? So time as in how it feels, but also how long things take, and not really giving a realistic estimation. So I try now, like I said, with the journey thing, I try and put a buffer time in. Other things, I almost overthink my schedule now. I've got so many different things I am doing that I actually lay in bed in the middle of the night last night thinking about where I'm going to fit everything in. And I'm really trying to reduce my load because I'm taking too much on. And that is another thing that I'm going to talk about in a bit. So that's number 1. Number 2, the mess. Okay. I am a late diagnosed hoarder. I didn't really realize how much I hoard. And I don't know if you've ever heard about them before. You probably have. Doom boxes, Doom bags, Doom corners of a room, Doom drawers, Doom cupboards. Who else has got a house full of Doom? Me, I do. Guilty. Doom in the house. And even when I'm trying to be organised, man, like literally I've got loads of stuff for charity, but trying to get to the charity shop, like literally behind you, if you're watching the camera, there is like a huge pile of stuff for charity. But when I have got up the energy and motivation to go to the charity shop with everything in the car, and then not left it in the car for months, but actually turned up at a charity shop, they don't take it. I need a man who or a woman with a van, man with a van, just to come and pick up a load of stuff and take it to charity shops. Like, is that a service, do you think? Do you think anyone does that? If you know of someone, like, let me know. Because honestly, I would pay. I'd happily pay for people because I don't want it to go to waste, and I don't have the energy to sell it and go to the bloody post office. I can't deal with the post office. I just want it to go to charity and someone to have it, make use of it. Because there's so many, there's like toys, there's clothes that's nice. I just don't fit in. All the boys, or the Mila doesn't fit in anymore. Just, yeah, this is not an advert. This is like a wanted advert, isn't it? It's a wanted advert. If anyone local knows anyone who would do that, I'll give you a bit of cash. I don't know, name your price and we can barter. But mess, holding on to things for too long, or just not having the capacity to sort things out. Like, I got 2 skips last year and I got rid of a load of stuff that was supposed to go. And then I did get rid of some stuff to charity shops. But I still have so much stuff in my house, and it just, especially with 5 kids, it collects and collects and collects and collects. So then I get overwhelmed from the mess, but I also create the mess too. Like, I'll put it in the Doom boxes and the Doom piles, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll put that in a cupboard because someone's coming and I don't want people to see that I actually live here. And I forget about it. I'll be like, I'll sort it out in next week, and they won't. And I emptied my old car 3.5 years ago, and probably still got the bag of what I emptied from the car in there. And that could just probably all go in the rubbish then, right? Because I've not used it for 3.5 years, so why would I need it? But yeah, it's still probably in the cupboard under the stairs downstairs. So yeah, mess, I create it, but it triggers me. And also having 5 small people, they create a lot of mess too. And I think I need to be better with my boundaries. Me and my husband were talking about this, better with our boundaries, getting the kids to actually take ownership of their mess. I've got one child who is a little bit, I don't want to say he's OCD, but he's very autistic, and everything has its place. So like, if a sibling comes in and messes up his room, Judah's like, Mom, you gotta clean up the room. And to be fair, I do normally, or I ask the other kids who made the mess to, because I think it's not fair. He didn't make it and there was just toys in there they were trying to get out. So on that circumstance, I think that's best. But yes, mess is triggering, and just things getting left everywhere as well, like shoes by the front door. I can't stand it because they put them off in front of the front door, near the front door, but in front of the cupboard where the shoes go. So I can't get into that cupboard because shoes were there. And I'm guilty too. I do too. So I bought this shelving unit, but it's literally it's like wood, and it's kind of like those accordions, is it? It's a bit like that. So it's long. So they your shoes go on different levels. I think I got 9 because there's 7 of us in the house, and the twins normally only wear their shoes, and they wear their shoes inside. I know it's a bad rule, but it was one that they struggled with when they were younger, and I've just kind of not cared about it. But I probably should be better with my... Anyway, the shelving unit. They've got a home now, okay, guys? There's a home for the shoes. So we've bought the home. Let's use the home. Home for the shoes, less clutter. We can then get what other shoes are laying around can then go in the cupboard because they're not being used. You know, one pair of shoes on the shelving unit. You can see them, quick, easy grab. They're the ones you wear all the time. That's what they should be. Do they use it? It's getting there. It's getting there. It's been a few months and everyone is probably sick to death of me saying, where do your shoes go? They go on the shelving unit. I don't actually want on the shelves. Shoes on the shoe shelf. Shoe shelf. That's a good little name, isn't it? On the shoe shelf, please. So yeah, that definitely helps reduce it. In terms of mess on the kitchen side and the kitchen table, I don't know anyone else's kitchen tables. Oh my God. Toys, fidget toys, babies, food crumbs, bowls. What else? Paper and pens and crayons everywhere. And stickers, stuff to try and keep them entertained and off the old tablets, and it creates so much mess. But I always find that if I can have one side clear in the kitchen, just one, just so I've got some space to do lunches or prepare dinner, it makes a world of difference. I have a corner on my side, and it is literally filled with random, not even paperwork, random crap that needs to be relocated or put in the bin, really need to go through that. So yes, triggering. But I do find if I've got one space clear, that definitely helps me feel less triggered. So maybe you should, I lower my expectations. You know, I work, I've got the dogs, I've got the kids. Jordan, when he works, is 12-hour shifts. So there's mess. Lower my expectations because then I don't get pissed off myself. And we're a working household. We're a lived-in household. And we used to have one of those signs. Actually, my mum bought it for me that said something like, yes, it's a mess. The kids are busy making memories, which makes me laugh that my mum bought it. Bless my mother. Love her. Number 3, emotional dysregulation. This has been one that I have probably worked the most on over the past 3 years and has probably been the most beneficial. Seen the most growth and change and difference of being a parent and a person all around. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, no one really told me what to do when I was angry. It was just one of those things that you just got told to calm down, right? And that's no fault of my parents because they were probably taught the same. Like, you know, anger, something you try not to be, but we all get there, right? And the more we ignore it, the worse it gets. And I'm also a very sensitive person. I think most ADHD people are. So when my children are triggered and angry, guess what? It triggers me too. And trying to almost parent yourself, teach yourself how to stay calm or how to calm down when you're feeling angry, and then to remain calm when your child who is angry needs you to be, but it's like your energy matches their energy. So the more angry they get, the more it gets your back up type of thing, right? So trying to learn on the job is really hard. And I did a lot of work with this and created like this SPAT method. So stop talking, P, process, but after the event, A, assemble your toolkit of different things you can use before you get to the volcano explosive part, you or your children, and then T, train. And that is the one that people don't do. And it's the most beneficial thing. But it is also, it's not hard. It's just like remembering to do it, training your brain, because when we're angry, when we're like really emotional, we go into survival mode, our brain goes offline, our lid flips when we have no reasonable or rational thinking. So that's why we make impulsive decisions. That's why we say things we don't mean. That's why we snap. And we just do whatever we can to survive. And we go through our subconscious mind. Now, our brain is always making new things. We have the ability to change how our subconscious mind is, but you have to do that by training it. So you have to build those, what they're called as neuropathways in your brain, by training it when you are calm. So when you're in a calm state, you have to train what you're going to do in a heightened state. And it's just one of those things that we never get around to doing, isn't it? Like, I always remember to do that with the kids when they are already angry. And it's better late than never, depending where they are. Obviously, if they are off the scale, like, you're not going to be able to do it there. But if they are just starting to get angry and they're doing a negative behavior, like Mila has started just like hitting her thighs, which is learned behavior because that's what one of my children who is severely learning disabled does. So she picks that up. So I try and then work through with her what we could do to keep you safe and let that anger out. Because it's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to hurt yourself or hurt other people. That's what I say. And when I'm having moments, I will voice as well what I'm doing. So I will say, Mummy's feeling angry. I need a minute to breathe and calm down. I'm going to put some water on my face. I'm going to stand outside and take a few breaths. Or if I'm sad, I will say I need a hug. And that has been really beneficial in the past because then my children actually know that when I'm sad, I like hugs. And like, I remember my 7-year-old, I was sad and a bit stressed, actually more, I was crying, but more stressed out crying probably because we were late and other things, getting ready to school run. And we were literally sat in the car park waiting to go into school. And he just said, "Do you want a hug?" And it was just like the kindest little cutest thing. And it meant he was listening and it worked. We're the best role models, right? So if we go on this journey first, which is why I always say, like, you taking time to prioritize your own ADHD journey is so helpful to your children. Like, you are leading the way. You are going on this pathway. And that's one of the good things about it. Like, I have done an advantage of being an ADHD parent before, but I will do another one to counteract this. I feel like I should. Having ADHD, especially if you have ADHD kids, there are lots of positives, and being the role model and going on this journey yourself to show them how they can go on their own journey and it's okay to have differently wired brains is so beneficial. Okay, that was a big one. And we could talk more about that. So if you want to hear more about emotional dysregulation, I'm sure I've done a podcast. If not, I will do another one. I will do one. Now, one I found yesterday out, number 4, your energy. Being ADHD takes so much more energy doing really mundane things, really normal things, than it does when you don't have ADHD. Like, so many people think ADHD is an attention deficit, but it's actually the opposite. It's like we have too much attention that we are trying to focus on every little thing that is going on in a room. So yesterday, I took the twins to a medication appointment at CAMS. I was told to bring them both, and I was told we'd have a separate room and one twin could be in one room. I brought my mum with me and their dad met us there. So Nanny would stay with one twin and we'd take the other twin, discuss them, and then we'd swap. Guess what? They put us all in a room together, and it was the biggest room they had, and it was tiny. And we've got 2 kids in here who have got autistic learning disability, ADHD, and they have debated for months whether they actually do have ADHD. I just think you just needed to be in that room and you'd be like, they do not stay still. Like, dude's there, like, rocking on his chair. My mum's like, "Oh, don't rock," because obviously me and their dad are trying to talk and we're trying to listen to the psychiatrist and share the most challenging things about our children. And remember, they're like having snacks because I bought snacks to like keep them cool. Then the bloody psychiatrist talking about how they should be eating really healthy. They do eat really healthy, but I just bought snacks to keep them entertained because I need to try and talk to you and concentrate. And I've got all these things going on. And then I can see Luca out the corner of my eye. He's found some toys and there's like a Scooby-Doo Lego, like a van, the Scooby-Doo van. Lego. He loves Scooby-Doo. I was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." But then, oh no, I have to go back and I have to concentrate on what she's saying. And it's important stuff. Like, to begin with, obviously we're talking about the challenges of like trying to remember like what is the real big struggles to like get the right medication for them. And then after that, she's then trying to tell us all these like side effects and how to take the medication. And to be fair, I didn't write anything down. And afterwards my mum was like, "Are you going to remember any of that?" Like, I don't know if I can remember any of that. I was so distracted, no matter what, like, God knows what you were like. And they are going to write it all up. I think I do remember it all because I'm almost like, oh my God, Jude's starting ADHD meds. And she's like, "They're a class A drug. What other drugs are class A?" And I'm like, "Cocaine?" She's like, "Yes, cocaine and heroin. So these are really serious drugs. So you need..." So I'm like scared shitless, man. Like, I'm like, oh my God, the responsibility of this. Oh, it's crazy. But yes, I came away feeling absolutely drained. I had a massive headache. I then had work in the afternoon. I should have just cancelled my day and just taken it in. But obviously, like, think about money and stuff. I was like, no, I can fit it in. I'll get there in the afternoon. And I literally at one point I was like, I'm having a stroke. Like, not to be dramatic, but literally my face. I was like, am I okay? I thought, okay, my face hasn't drooped, it's just tingly. So I think it was just like to do with the headache. And I literally was so tired. I had ordered a takeaway for the kids and my husband picked up a takeaway for us. So a very lazy evening. And I feel no guilt or shame about that. Doing whatever I can with the energy I have. Luckily, I had some money. It's the good time of the month to give the kids this nice little treat as well, because the twins did really well. They were really well behaved. It's just they're a lot in one room. Anyway, I'm lucky they didn't start fighting, which is a very, very strong possibility with those two. So yes, energy is crazy. And it shouldn't be something that we're ashamed of, that it takes more out of us to do the simple things. It's just how we work. And it's about working out our capacity and being realistic about what we can actually accomplish in a day and take on when we've got things like that going. Okay, and the last one, number 5, adult admin. I literally hate forms. I'm terrible at forms. Paperwork, awful with paperwork. I mean, I could do a whole episode of this on its own. But let's also talk about the school admin. I think that is probably the worst of all. Like, I've got 5 kids across 4 schools. I was talking about this the other day. Like, I missed Nathaniel's parents' evening last year. I cried. I was so angry at myself. I felt so much shame that I had missed it. It was very early on in the year, in my defense, and I wasn't really thinking or looking out for it. Obviously, it's the first time I've had a child in secondary school. And I just felt awful. I managed to get a send review and talk to them, which was not very helpful. But this year I was determined. So I would keep looking out for the email. And when it a minute it said parents' evening on the monthly or weekly update, I was like, nope, not my child, not my year, not a year. And then finally it was our time. And I made sure I booked someone. I booked a send review as well because the dates came out on the same day. Turned up for the send review half an hour early. I made sure I was home, added my buffer time, made sure I was home in time to sit down with a cup of coffee and get things ready. And I was noticing, I was on it and I've not used it properly before. It's a really weird system. And it was saying my next one was in a couple of hours. And that was when the parents' evening started for the different subjects. And I was like, oh my God, where's the link? So I rang the school. I was panicking. And they were like, oh, we'll talk to the send. We'll stay on hold. They came back. It was the 18th. I was 2 weeks early. Not just 1 week, which I thought originally. I was 2 weeks early for the send review. Obviously, I didn't look at the date, even though it was right there in front of me when I noticed it. And that's the thing, that you miss some things. I'm trying to take it all in and I don't take it all in. And I'm not reading the dates properly. And I didn't feel embarrassed about that. I felt relieved. I cried a bit. I felt relieved that I had not missed it and I was early. And I just reminded myself, I need to remember to get on that on the 18th. But yes, I was just I had a bit of a cry, the adrenaline bumping through me. And then I managed to do the parents' evening that night and it was really good and so positive and he's incredible. I'm super proud of him. He's coping really well. Mostly the social thing is the hardest part, the friends and stuff. That's what he really finds the hardest. But lessons wise, he's such a nice kid and everyone said that. Someone even said he was the best year 8 they've ever met, which I thought was a really big compliment. Really big compliment. But yes, the amount of times where I have missed a trip, literally the other day, Spencer was going on a trip to Nathaniel's secondary school, actually, some kind of football or sports. I can't remember anyway. And then literally as we were crossing over to the school, I was like, I don't remember signing a permission slip for this. I was like, oh, maybe I have. And then I got home and my husband had texted me to say the school just rang to say, do I give permission for Spencer to go? And I was like, so I didn't then. At least I remembered that I hadn't given permission. I mean, they could have just grabbed me at school. But anyway, anywho, he went and it's fine. The real thing with that is they swapped apps, okay? I got used to this one app and then the twin school started using the same app. So I was 3 kids on one app, that's fine. It's it makes it easier if everything's in one place. They swapped apps to another app and this app, I just get so confused and overwhelmed. And I like tech. I'm good with tech, but this app, I just can't get my head around. So yes, I have missed school on uniform days as well. The school admin is just crazy. So one thing I do look forward to when we have a summer break is no school admin. So bring that on. If you've not got kids in school yet, then brace yourself. Brace yourself for the school admin, my friends. Oh my goodness, this has been a super long one. Thank you so much for being here and listening. And I would love to know if you relate to any of these as well. And what have I missed? What is sucky about being ADHD and a mum? Tell me, what is sucky? And then we will do a counteract one, and we will do good things of being an ADHD mum as well, because there are lots and lots of positives. I promise. Thank you so much for listening. And if you found this useful, please do leave a comment, share, please share with your friends, tag your friends, share it on your stories, on your Facebook, whatever you use, share it so we can get this word out there and we can have more mums like us, more women discovering their ADHD, unmasking to feel normal, to feel seen, to feel heard, and to feel like it's not just them on their own on this journey, because that sucks. That definitely sucks. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.